Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking. This is Joanna. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing how to recreate this beautiful shirt. Now let's get straight to the tutorial. Okay, so I have about 2 yards of African print fabric, and then I have about quarter yard of the plain fabric, a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, and a piece of chalk. Okay, so these are the measurements that we are using for this tutorial. Now we are going to be cutting the back part of the shirt first. Now to do that, we are going to divide our chest circumference by 4. Then I'm going to add 2 inches for seam allowance. So divide your chest circumference by 4, then add 2 inches for the seam allowance to fold your fabric. So I'm just measuring to make sure it's accurate. So that's it. So that is it for the horizontal or um, the the folding of the back part of the shirt. Now let's get to the length. Now, like I said, the length is 29 inches. We are going to add 2 inches for the drop on the shoulder, and then I'm going to add additional 2.5 inches for the folding at the down part. You're going to use 2 inches to fold the hem of the shirt, and then the half inch to join the shoulder slant. Okay, so that's what I'm marking. So I went ahead to extend the lines. Like I said, the length now is 33.5 inches. That is the shoulder drop, and then the hem of the shirt inclusive. So I have 33.5 inches. So that has been marked. I'm going ahead to cut that out. That is for the back part of the shirt. So I'm going to set this aside. As you can see, we are done with that. So I'm going to cut the yoke for the back part of the shirt. I mean the yoke, as you can see on the screen. So I'm going to go up 9 inches, then I'm going to maintain the width for the shirt. I will maintain the width and then I'll go up 9 inches. This is basically what I use for adults. Then I went ahead to cut this out. Depending on the design you are making, I think 9 inches is okay. So guys, I'll put this aside and then work on the front part of the shirt. So just as the width of the back part of the shirt, I'm going to be using that for that of the front part as well. So fold it exactly as the width that you use for the back part of the shirt, like this. So I'm just measuring to make sure they tally. So that is it. Now the length is what differs for the back and the front part of the shirt. Now for the front part, um, I will just add 2.5 inches to the length of the shirt. The 2 inches will be used for the folding at the down part, and the half inch will be used to join the shoulders. So that is, this means that the back part is 2 inches longer than the front part of the shirt. So that is it. I'll mark it and then straighten the line. Then I'm going to cut the front part out. Now I'll put the front part also aside and then cut out the sleeve for the shirt. Now for the sleeve, divide your round sleeve measurement or your round sleeve circumference by 2 and add about 2 or 1.5 inches seam allowance to it. So that is what I'm going to be folding. So my round sleeve circumference divided by 2 plus 2 inches seam allowance, that is what I used to fold the sleeve, like this. Then I'm going to work on the length of the sleeve. The length is 9 inches. I'll be adding 2.5 inches for the folding at the down part, and then use the half inch to join the sleeve to the armhole of the shirt. So that's what I'm marking as well. So I'll go ahead and then straighten up the line to extend the lines, and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut 2 pieces for the sleeve. Okay, now so we have the two pieces of the sleeves folded. Now you're going to cut the neckline for the shirt. So I have the back part and then the front part on top of the back part of the shirt, both unfold. So now for the width of the neckline, I'm going to go in 2.5 inches like this. Now for the depth of the neckline, I'm going to go down 2.5 inches as well. So that's like 2.5 by 2.5. So this is actually for the front part of the neckline. But for the back depth neckline, I'm going to go down 1.5 inches. For the back neckline depth, I'm going to go down 1.5 inches. Then I'll give the front neckline a curve like this. I'll give it a curve. So this is actually a round neck line. Then I'll give the back neckline also a curve like this. First of all, I'm going to cut the back part neckline. Before then, I went down from the shoulder 2 centimeters. Then I'm going to connect it to the neckline. That is for the shoulder slope. So I went down 2 centimeters. Then I'm going to first of all cut the back neckline together with the front like this. Then I'm going to separate the front part of the shirt and then cut the front neckline. I hope you understand this. Like this. Okay. Now I'm going to put both of them together like this. Then I'm going to cut the shoulder slope like so. So that is it. Now for the armhole, we cut it along while we stitch the shirt. So I'm putting the front part of the shirt down aside, and then I'm going to work on the yoke for the back part of the shirt. So I place the yoke under the back part of the shirt, and I'm going to use the back part of the shirt to cut the neckline for the yoke and then the shoulder slope as well. Sorry, the shoulder slant. So that is it. So we have our yoke ready. We've cut the neck and the shoulder slant. Now for the down part of it, it's also optional. It depends on the shape that you want to give it. You can make it a triangular, you can make it straight just as it is, or any shape at all that you want. So I actually want the down part of the yoke to be straight. So I'm going to fold it in about 1 inch like this. Before then, I'm going to apply a stiffener or a half stay, medium stay, whatever interface that you have, about 1 inch, and then I'm going to fold it up like this and flat iron it. Okay guys, so I'll bring out the back part of the shirt. Then I'm going to place the yoke for the back part of the shirt on it like this. Then I'm going to join the necklines together. I'm going to join the necklines together with the right side of the yoke facing the wrong side of the back part of the shirt. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine and then I'll join the neckline with 1/2 inch. So I went ahead to pin it before I take to the sewing machine to stitch it down. So that is being done. Um, I'm going to give these notches to be able to turn it to the other side of the shirt. So I went ahead to flip the yoke to the right side of the back part of the shirt. So like this, I'm just going to straighten it up and then join the yoke to that of the back part of the shirt. So at this juncture, you can just flat iron it or use your hand to press it down. So now I'll go ahead and then fold back the interfaced part of the yoke like this, and then I'll get a piece of a square of the plain fabric. Then I'll fold it like this and then fold again to get another square. Then I'm going to place it in the center of the back part of the shirt to give it a design. This is optional, you can ignore this part, but if you just want to add spice to your shirt, just do what I'm doing. So I trimmed off the down part of it. I'm going to place it under it to get a triangular shape a tiny triangular shape like this at the back of the yoke. So that's it. Then I'm going to pin it down. Make sure it is at the center of the back part of the shirt like this. Then you pin it, secure with a pin like this. Now I'm taking it to the same machine to top stitch it like this with half of an inch all the way down like this. Okay guys, so this is how it came out after stitching it down. So that is it for the back part of the shirt at this point. So I'm going to put that aside and then work on the front part of the shirt. So I'm going to bring that out and open it up. Then we are first of all going to work on the design on the front part of the shirt. That's the white or the plain fabric design on the front part of the shirt. So I went ahead to get two pieces like this. This is 2.5 inches by width and then 11 inches by length for the one in the center of the front part of the shirt. Like I said, 11 inches, and then this is 2.5 inches by width. Okay, so I'm going to fold up half inch like this and then flat iron it. I'll fold up I'll fold in half inch like this on both sides and then I'll iron it to make it flat like this. I'll repeat the same process for the other piece as well. Then I'll turn it to the other side and then I'll flat iron it like this. So I'll be having about 1.75 of an inch for it. So this is what I'm going to be placing at the center or the middle of the front part of the shirt. Like I said, I'm going to do same for um, the other piece as well. So I'll fold the size half inch or 1 centimeter, depending on how wide you want the design to look like. I'll fold both sides. So I just realized it's too long, so I just trimmed off some of it. Now the length is not compulsory, it depends on how long you want it and how nice you want the design to be. So I'm going to fold both sides with half of an inch, flat iron it and then turn it over like this and flat iron it again. So guys, kindly subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, like this tutorial, share this video and leave a comment or leave a heart if you enjoyed watching this tutorial. So I went ahead to fold the down part of it. I'll fold it in half inch and then flat ironed it because you're going to be top stitching it and it's going to be on top of the center piece. That's why. So I'll place the first piece on the center or the middle of the front part of the shirt, just as I said earlier, like this. Then I'm going to pin it down before taking it to the sewing machine to stitch it down. So I'll go ahead and pin the middle of the first piece. So I'll now take to the sewing machine and then top stitch it down like this. Okay guys, so this is how it came out after top stitching it. Now I'm going to place the other piece of the plain fabric. Remember we folded the down part of it, so this is what I meant. Where you folded, you are going to place that on top of the first piece and pin it like this. And then continue pinning. Make sure this is straight. Pin the center of the piece like this. Okay, and make sure they are straight before you take it to the sewing machine to stitch that also down. So guys, this is how it came out. I'm going to be making the pockets also. I'm going to be making the pockets also. So the first design has been done. So I went ahead to cut 8 inches length for the pockets, 8 inches by length, and then 6.5 inches by width. So I'll first of all fold up I first of all fold up half inch like this. I'll flat iron it and then fold again 5 inches. This packet is square, so I just cut um, this rectangular piece and then I folded up half inch and folded again another half inch, and I'm going to stitch it down like this. So that is going to be the upper part of the packet. Now for the sides, I'll fold in half inch like this on the side, and then I'll turn to the other side of the packet, and then I'll fold again half inch. So make sure you measure to be sure this is 5.5 inches wide for the packet. Then I'll go ahead and then iron or flat iron the sides again. Now I'll come to the down part of the packet. I'll come to the down part of the packet after flat iron the side and then fold up half inch like this and fold up half inch like this. Okay, so that is it. You can measure to see how long you want the packet to be. So this packet is actually about 5.5 inches long. Now I'm going to come down from the shoulder 7 inches. I'm going to come down from the shoulder 7 inches. That's where we are going to be placing the packet actually. So I'm going to measure from the center of the shirt 3 inches away from where the pocket is going to be placed. So that's it. Now go ahead and then pin this down before I take it to the sewing machine to stitch it down. Okay, now so I'm taking it to the sewing machine to stitch it down, excluding the upper part of it, to stitch it to join it from this angle down then to upwards. So that has also been done. I'll take out the pins and flat iron it. Okay guys, so I'm going to put this aside and then work on the cover of the pocket. So I have this piece here. To fold it up, it's 3.5 inches, so meaning I cut like 7 inches length, and the width is just as the same of that of the pocket. That is 6.5 inches. So I'm going to be now applying an interfacing or a hard stiffener to it. So this piece of the hard stay that I have, I place the shiny part of it on the wrong side of the fabric, and then I flat ironed it. I'm going to cut off the excess of this hard stay. Now I'll mark half inch on both sides of it like this and extend the lines. Okay, now for the folded part of it, I'm going to come down 1/4 inch. I'm going to come down 1/4 inch. I'm not going to be stitching the open part of the folded side of it. Okay, so now that you've extended the line, I'm going to give this a shape at the edges. So I went in 3/4 inch, and then both on the length and then the breadth um of the markings. Then I'm going to give it a curve just as I'm showing you. So this is optional depending on the style you want to make it. So that is done. I'm going to follow the direction of the pen, then I'm going to stitch it down on the sewing machine. So that has been done. So I'm going to notch the size and trim off the excess of the fabric just as you see me doing. Then I'm going to notch the side. Carefully notch it. Make sure you don't cut through the seam lines. So now after notching, I'm going to turn it to the right side of it. I'm going to turn it to the right side of the fabric just as I'm doing. and then make sure you pull out the edgy part of it, then you flat iron it. So with the help of my scissors, I'm just trying to um, push out the edgy part of it. And using the scissors, you need to be careful before you pierce through it. So that has been done. So I'm going to bring the front part of the shirt and then use the pocket cover to cover the pocket. All right, so this is it. This is it. So um, I'm going to place it like this on top of the pocket. Then I'm going to pin it down. So guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button and like this tutorial. Leave a comment or leave a heart if you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and then stitch it down with 1/2 of an inch. So this is how it turned out after stitching it down. So this is actually how it's going to look like. So I'm going to top stitch this actually. Going to top stitch this with 1/4 of an inch. So that has also been done. So this is how it came out. This is the packet and then the cover of the packet. So that is it, guys. So now we are going to be I'm first of all going to be piping the neckline. I have a detailed tutorial on this. I'll leave the link in the comment section. Check it out. So you can actually use a cotton bias or you can use the plain fabric that I'm using for this tutorial. So I folded it on bias as you can see. Then I'm going to cut a width of about 1.5 inches like this, 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut this out. So this depends on how cute or how big you want you want it to be. So this is a form of piping the neckline. So after cutting this, I'm going to fold it up and then flat iron it. This is one way of piping the neckline. We have other ways. So this is very simple. You can check out the video on how to make this, or you can just follow this tutorial and you'll be able to make it. So after flat ironing it, this is 0.75 inch. So this is how we are going to do it. Now on the wrong side of the shirt, I will place the bias on the neckline like this. Then I'm going to join it with 1 centimeter. First of all, I'm just trying to pin it down to make it more secure. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine and then I'll join it with 1 centimeter like this. I'm going to trim off the excess of the bias and then I'll notch the neckline. So now I'm going to fold down the bias like this. I'm going to fold it down like this and then top stitch it. But before then, I will just flat iron it and then trim off um, the excess of the seam on the neckline. I hope you understand this. Just to make your stitching neat, I'm just going to trim off a bit of the seam. So I will now take to the sewing machine and then I will top stitch this around the neckline. Okay, so this is it on the same machine. I'm going to top stitch it. Okay guys, so this is how it turned out. So we are going to be joining the shoulders at this point. I'm going to bring out the back part of the shirt and place it on the front part of the shirt. Then I'm going to join one shoulder and then we are going to be adding a zipper to the other shoulder. So this is how it turned out after joining one shoulder. So you can actually join any of the shoulders that you prefer. Then pin one shoulder that you're going to be fixing the zipper on. So that is done. We are going to be cutting the armhole. So I'm going to make sure the down parts are equal and pull it up like this, then straight it up. So this is what I meant by the shoulder drop. So this is how it came out. The 2 inches that we added to the back part of the shirt, this is the result. So now we are going to be cutting the armhole for the shirt. So I just turned it. Then to cut the armhole, I'm first of all going to consider that of the across back, which is 18 plus 1 inch seam allowance. So that makes it 19. So place it on it and then count the remainder. So I had 5 inches as a remainder. Divide it by 2 and mark the 2.5 on both sides of the shirt, just as you can see me doing. Alright, alright. Now for the armhole depth, you can divide the armhole circumference by 2, or I normally come down by 8 inches as a standard, and it works for me all the time like this. Then you go up about 1.5 inches or 2 inches, then give it a curve on both sides of the shirt. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out the armhole. Alright, so I'll go ahead and notch the armholes like this to be able to place the sleeves. Okay, so I'm going to fix the zipper. I'm going to attach the zipper to it. So at this point, you can use any zipper that you prefer, whether invisible, American zipper, or anyone that prefers. So I'm actually going to be using the American zipper, and I want the teeth to be showing. So that's how I'm going to be fixing the zipper. So I'll first of all take out the pins on the shoulder like this before I go to the sewing machine to attach the zipper. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. I'll fold in 1/2 inch like this, then I'll fold back the end point of the zipper, and then I'll pin it down like this. I'm just trying to show you how I'm going to be stitching it on this sewing machine. So I folded in 1/2 inch of the shoulder, and then I place the zipper under it like this, leaving making sure the teeth will be showing like this. Then the top part also, I'm going to be folding in 1/2 inch and then place the zipper under it, just as I did for the other half like this. Then I'm going to pin it as well. Now take it to the sewing machine to stitch them down. Okay guys, so that has been done. I'm going to trim off the end of the zipper like this, and then we fix the zipper just as I said, so the teeth is showing. I'm going to put it aside and work on the sleeves. Okay, so just as we cut in the beginning, so this is the sleeves. First of all, I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch like this, and then fold up 1.5 inch. So I should be having about 9.5 inches. Remember, I said the sleeve length is 9 inches. So that's it. So I'm going to stitch that down. I'm going to do the same for this other piece of the sleeve. Folding half and then folding up 1.5 inches, making it 2 inches that we added to it. Then if you measure, you should be having 9.5 because you use the 1/2 inch to join that of the armhole. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine to join them. Stitch it down. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to fold it up on the wrong side of the fabric like this. Now before you continue with this, I normally measure the armhole of the shirt to do that. Nevertheless, let's divide this round sleeve measurement by 2. You mark that and then add additional 1.5 seam allowance or 1 inch seam allowance to it. Now to get the armhole curve on the sleeve, I'm going to measure that of the armhole like this. Like this. So I'm having about 10 inches. So use that to mark it on your sleeve like this. Now I'm going to connect the very end to the seam allowance like this. Then I'm going to trim off. Yes, I'm going to trim off what we don't need on the sleeve, following the direction of the chalk like this. So I'm going to use the first sleeve to cut the other sleeve. Place it on it, fold it, and then place it on it like this and cut it out. So I went ahead to notch the sleeves as well to match that of the armhole. Okay, so I'm going to break out the shirts and then um, fix the sleeve on it. So I'm going to open it up like this on the right side of the fabric, and then I'm going to place or match that of the notched areas with right side of the fabric of the sleeve facing the right side of the shirt. Then I'm going to pin it down like this. Make sure the notch areas match each other or are placed on the same area and pin. Look at just what I'm doing. Just look at what I'm doing and then follow it. So I'm going to pin it down like this. Okay guys, so this is it. I'm going to do same for the other side, which has the zipper as well. Other side of sleeve which has the zipper. Make sure the right side of the sleeve and the right side of the shirt of the fabric are facing each other, and make sure the notch areas match each other. Then you pin it just as we did for the other side. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and then I'm going to run the stitches all around both of the sleeve to join them. Okay guys, so this is how it came out. If you're enjoying this tutorial so far, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, share this video to your friends and family, leave a heart in the comment section if you enjoyed the tutorial. Okay, so this is it. I turn it to the wrong side of the fabric like this after joining the sleeves. We are now going to be joining the sides of the shirt. You're going to be joining the sides of the shirt. We are almost bringing this tutorial to an end, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the other side like this. Then we are going to be joining the side. Okay, so first of all, remember we are going to have side slits on both sides of the shirt. So I'll go up 8 inches from the bottom of the shirt on both sides. I'll come up 8 inches like this. Okay, now I'll remark the round sleeve, which is 6.5 inches, and then I'm going to measure to make sure that's intact. So um it is we have 1.5 inches as size seam allowance. So that makes it equal to that of this sleeve allowance. I hope I'm making sense here. Okay, now to join the sides, you don't necessarily need to curve. Make sure you straighten your sleeve like how I've done mine like this, and use your measuring tape or your ruler to stretch the line, extend the line like this. Then you stop at where we are going to be making the side slit. If you don't understand me, just watch what I'm doing. So this is how we are going to be stitching. Join it straight like this. You did it for both sides of the shirt. Okay, so that has been done. We are going to be um, joining the down part of it. So I first of all fold up ½ inch like this. I normally like to leave the self edge of my fabric like this. So I fold up ½ inch like this. Then I'm going to fold up again 1 inch like this and flat iron it. I'll do it for the other side as well. Okay, so now we are going to take it to the sewing machine and then stitch it down, both of them. So guys, this is how it came out after stitching down the hem of the shirt. So that has been completed. It's left with the side slit. That one is also very simple. Just follow my lead and let's get this done once and for all. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Okay, so for the side slits, I'm going to fold up ½ inch like this. And I'm going to fold again ½ inch like this. I'll do it for the other side as well. Or better still, I'm going to open up the shirt. I'll fold up ½ inch like this and then fold again ½ inch or 3/4 of an inch, depending on the allowance that you left. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to open it up to make it more clearer. So this is it. I'm going to do same for the other side as well. And then I'll flat iron them. First of all, folded in ½ inch and then folded again 3/4 of an inch and then flat ironed it like this. I'll repeat it for another side. Okay guys, so now following the direction of the chalk, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch it down like this. I'll go up like this. When I reach the point, I'm going to curve to the other side and then come down, stitch downwards like this. I'll repeat it for the other side as well. Okay, so this is how it came out after stitching it down for both sides. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the right side of the fabric, sorry, the right side of the shirt. So this is it. Voila, we have our shirt ready. Thank you for watching. Love you so much. Keep being amazing wherever you are. Share this video and give the video a thumbs up. See you on my next tutorial. But before I say goodbye to this, tag me on Instagram if you're able to make this tutorial, or on Facebook at Anella Creations, and Instagram Anella_Creations. Keep it amazing wherever you are. Love you all. Bye.